Hey, fourth graders, this is our first big writing that we're going to learn about. A summary is also one of the most important things we can learn how to write. You've been using a summary all your life. Your mom and dad, when you come home from a vacation or a friend's house, they always say, hey, what happened? Or when you come home from school, hey, what'd you do today? You summarize, you tell us the important things that happened. And that's what a summary is telling the important things. It's not retelling the entire story. You don't tell your mom and dad when you come home from school, oh yeah, I got off the bus, I walked up to the door, I opened the door. You don't tell them all the details because that's kind of boring. So a summary gives you the summarization. That's the long term for it, okay? And so we're going to learn the basics. A summary, first off, a summary has, and what I'm going to ask you to do is just take some notes, and then if you want to put them on a piece of paper, if you want to add color to it, if you want to add pictures, your choice, and then bring it to school when you come to school, and we'll glue it into your journal, okay? This is going to go into our journal because we at school are going to be doing this right in our journal. A summary, first off, has a beginning. And in the beginning, it's going to have a couple pieces. It gives a hook. That's what gets it's kind of like a fish hook. And at school, on the board, I'd be drawing a fish hook, an actual fish hook. So if you want to draw a fish hook on this, you can right now, okay? I can't draw on this, so I apologize. Just as a fish hook hooks that fish, it tempts them with that little worm on the end, and it goes, it bites it and goes, I got it. That's what you want to do with your readers. You want your reader to go, hey, I want to read this. And you want them to read yours first. Think of when I'm reading your summaries, I have everyone's to read. I have 60 summaries to read. Don't you want me to read yours first when I'm freshest and I'm most alert and I can give you the best, I get the best one first? So that's what a good hook does. So it starts with the hook. Then it gives some important information, okay? It gives some info. It's about the author. If there's an author, it tells us who the author. The title. That's what the title of the article is, or what we're talking about. It also tells us what's the genre. That means, is it nonfiction? Is it fiction? And that's basically all it is, if it's fiction or nonfiction. So I'm going to put that fiction or nonfiction. That means if it's real or if it's make-believe. Okay? Author, title, genre. I'm trying to think if there's something else that goes in there. If I think of it, I'll put it back in there, but I'm thinking there's something else that goes in there. Then we give a little overview. That means we tell a little bit of what we're going to be talking about. And we'll get more into this as we start writing our summaries, okay? But that's the basics. Then, that's our first paragraph. I'm going to go up here and watch what I do to get over to the other side. I'm going to use this little decrease indent and see how it jumps to the number 2. Ha ha ha. Then the middle, that's the actual story part. I'm going to tab to jump back in. That's where we're going to put all of our information, our facts, our important details that we find. Okay, this is for our facts, important details. It's all the information that we know, and it's that summary. It's not every little fact we find. It's the most important ones. Okay, it's the most important facts. And usually, as we get really, get more advanced, we will be organizing our facts into topics. And that's what our overview would be, as our topics that we're going to be talking about. And then we group our details based upon our topics. So I'm going to put that in there because that's going to be long term, but we're going to have one topic of details per paragraph. That means if, let's suppose we're reading a story about koala bears, and there's lots of information in there, and there's a whole bunch about their fur and how their fur has, it does this. Then it talks about their arms and legs and how, my gosh, their arms and legs help them to climb, help them to crawl, help them to swing, And then it talks about their habitat and where they live and how they live in Australia, and they live in eucalyptus trees, and they only live there. They can't live anywhere else, and this is why they live there. The first group of details was all about their fur. So that would be, the overview would be talking about the fur of the koala bear. The second group was about their arms and legs, or maybe their body. So we're going to talk about their body of the koala bears. The third one was about their habitat. and or their climate where they live. We could name it either one, and it really depends upon the order that it is in the paragraph. Is the order that you put them in your summary, and so that follows up here. Your overview. That's your. I'm going to put that right up there. This is your topics of details. And that, so like with the koala bear, that would be if in the story it talks first about, maybe it first talks about their climate. So we would talk about climate, and then it talks about their fur, and then it talks about their body. So we would put them in the same order. And then down here, we have the facts, important details, most important facts, and there's one topic of details. One topic of details per paragraph. Yeah, one topic of details. So each paragraph would be about each of the sets of details. Gosh, that didn't sound very clear, but I think I got it. Then the last one, I'm going to use that indent again, decrease indent for the third part. This is our ending. Oops, I did that twice. It's our ending. This is where we give our what's called a summary of the overview. Now, I know that sounds really confusing, but remember when we talked about the overview was about the 3 different things of the koala bears? We're going to say again, we talked about Well, we're going to talk about this, don't you worry. We'll add some extra adjectives in to make it sound different and make it sound really good. Okay, that's the first thing that's in there. The second thing that's in there, it's called a reverse hook. That means we're going to take our hook, whatever we did to grab our readers, we're going to write it again, maybe a little different, or maybe we're going to have just a whole nother kind of, important hook at the end. So I call that a reverse hook. Okay? Because we want to end, it's kind of like a good sandwich. Got a good piece of bread on the top and the bottom and all the goodies on the inside. You got to have good bread. If you have bad bread, it doesn't matter what's on the inside. The bread is bad. It's going to be an icky sandwich. Okay? So this is the basics of a summary. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. We have a hook, and we give the information about the summary, anything that's available. Sometimes there's not. Sometimes they don't tell us the author. Sometimes we can't figure out the genre. Well, we can always figure out the genre, and sometimes they don't give a title. But everything we read will have these two. Okay? It will have this. It may not have this. And then at first, there won't be this. But as we get going, we'll have more of those. The middle gives the facts and important details. At the beginning, it's just going to give the basic facts that we found. As we get more in depth in it, we will have one paragraph per each detail. Okay? Then at the end, it gives the summary of the overview. That's what are the 3 things we're talking about? Or sometimes it doesn't even have. It just gives us the summary of of this. We talked about some really cool facts about the koala bear. He's really an interesting bear, and so I'm going to do this. Because at the beginning, we don't have a summary of the overview. At the beginning, we're going to give we're going to give 1 or 2 of your favorite facts. And again, we will talk about that. Like the first one we're going to do, that's what we're going to be doing, is giving 1 or 2 of our favorite facts. Okay? So that is a summary. Have fun, relax. We're going to start working on this first part of looking at some facts, and we're going to look at some really cool stories. Talk to you later.